Hello and good evening, beautiful people. Welcome back to Spill the Tea, Lou. Shockingly enough, my name is in fact Lou. Crazy things going on. First of all, thank you all for being here. Please do remember to smash the like button on your way in. Hello to all our lovely Teacup subscribers and members alike. I saw we have guests in the house. Rob's in the house. Dave Boy's here. Ray's lurking. He's lurking in the background. Luke is in the house. Hello to everybody. Dave Boy, huge. The Tea Titan is here. The Tea Titan is here, people. And Dave Boy is a little bit raging. He's not going to be able to see the whole show because he thought the stream was going to be at 7 and he has a very important meeting at 7:30. Paige is also in the house. But guys, we are a little bit later than usual. We do normally go live at 7 p.m. However, I had a little bit of sad news today. So you guys know I have some little kitty cats. And so I have two little disabled kitty cats. And then I have like an older cat that I've had a long time. And he actually passed away today. So I'm a little bit late, but the show must go on. The stream is here. We're live to have a bit of a chat. But slightly later than usual because I had other things to take care of today. So I'm sure we can all cope with 15 little minutes. In terms of the show, I have zero plan. So as I said to you guys earlier today, because we have managed to hit 500 teacups at our tea party, you guys are in charge of the stream. So we are going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Obviously nothing crazy. But we will just, anything you want to talk about, throw it into the chat and we will have a wee natter about that. And to be honest, I couldn't have picked a better day for it without knowing what was going to happen. So I wouldn't have had time to plan anything anyway, to be honest. And I appreciate that. I see a lot of people are putting in nice little messages saying sorry about that. And look, it's one of them things, but our pets do become a very important part of our lives and our families, and it's always sad when they leave us. But yeah, look, he was sick for a few days. We took him to the vet the other day, and they kind of said, look, he needs a bit of a drip, little bit of looking after, but he'll be fine. And then today we got the call to say he was not, in fact, fine. So it is one of them, unfortunately. It is one of them. I tell you, I came home and I cuddled my other little kitties a whole lot harder. Shem is in the house and has joined us, says, evening, lovely boss lady Lou and the teacup cult. I hope we are all well. The lovely Mama Flossie has also joined us. So Huge has the first question of the show. Excellent distraction tactics by Huge. Thank you, my dear. So Huge has said, topic for the chat and obviously for me, who will underperform the most next season? Like, obviously, Spurs this season have underperformed massively. Whether they get relegated or not relegated, they've massively underperformed. And obviously, Liverpool, as reigning champions, have been absolutely nowhere near it this season. And, really underwhelming. So who do we think is going to be in the Spurs and Liverpool category next season? Who do we think is going to underperform the most next season? Thank you very much, Flossie. Thank you. Guess immediately says, hopefully not United, which is obviously my sentiment as well. With the way things are turning out, with the way people are talking, with the way it's going with the players at the moment, with the way just everything is unfolding as it stands, I would say potentially Chelsea. If I was a betting lady, I would say probably Chelsea are going to be the team. Obviously, we have a lot of their players coming out with different things. Cucurella is clearly disillusioned, not happy with how things are going, wants to win things and is starting to question if he can do that at Chelsea. There's so many rumours about Cole Palmer. His form is in the bin. He's clearly injured and or unhappy. And there's so much rumour surrounding him. So if he, there's talk he might or maybe shouldn't go to the World Cup. If Cole Palmer doesn't go to the World Cup, I definitely don't think he'll be happy to stay at Chelsea. I think that might be the end of that. Obviously, you've got Enzo talking about Real Madrid. There's a lot of talk at the minute, and things just seem to be unraveling a little bit at Chelsea. So obviously we're guessing way in advance. It's all a guess, which is the point of it. It's just a little bit of fun. I would say potentially Chelsea. Is there anybody else that I think might drop off? Maybe Newcastle, because there are so many rumours of players, important players potentially leaving. If they do, if any, maybe one will go, but if you lose more than one, I think you do potentially see a fall off. Obviously, this season, there was kind of under the surface rumblings about Eddie Howe. Nothing too major, but kind of under the surface rumblings. They've kind of had an underwhelming season this season. If they lose another good or important player or multiple good or important players, I think that might sort of steamroll. And then I also think, unfortunately, you do have Manchester United. Sorry, I have to go to Dave Boy. Dave Boy says, I wouldn't have a clue. Maybe after we sign all their players and their super fan mom of Flossie. So Dave Boy is thinking maybe the same as me. And I do think maybe United, because I think if we keep Carrick, it's a massive mistake. I think if we keep Carrick, it's a massive mistake, and I think it could cost us dearly into the future. So for United, it depends what kind of a summer transfer window in terms of players we have, both with outgoings and incomings. And it also depends who we get permanently in the manager department. I think that can be very decisive, and when we get them, because if we're not getting them till mid-July or the end of July or the start of August, that's no good. So I think this transfer window for both the manager and the players at United, obviously it's important to every team, but I do think at United it's going to be absolutely key. And if we don't get it right as a club, which, I mean, let's face it, we probably won't, I think that could be really dangerous. I think that could be really, really dangerous. So my number one is Chelsea. I think Chelsea are going to drastically drop off. It seems like at least one, if not more, of Newcastle's important players are going to go. They have clearly struggled this season. It's been very up and down. Wissa come in and was injured. Voltemada is now playing in the midfield, which has allowed him to drop off. Some small question marks and rumbles about Eddie Howe. If a Tonali or a Bruno G or someone like that leaves as well, that could raise some questions. And then always United. I feel like United are always on the precipice of falling off, because we're always on the precipice of making an absolutely terrible decision. But I did see Huge also said if Pep and Rodri go, his shout is City. And I think that's a really good one as well. I think there's a lot of clubs going into next season where an enormous amount depends on this summer transfer window. And as I said, that's for players and managers. I think this might be the biggest shake-up of the Premier League that we've actually seen, probably in years. Probably in a really long time. Sorry, guys, you can probably see me looking over here every so often. I have the screen over here as well, so I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything on the screens. So don't mind me. I am paying attention to you. I'm just checking stuff. But yeah, so I think this, if Pep goes and Rodri goes, this could be a really good shout, because again, last season, City were underwhelming. This season, they're definitely not the City of old, because the City of old would have already hunted down Arsenal by now. now. Some of those games, those key games that they drop points in, they wouldn't have dropped points in before. So I think the fall off has already started of Manchester City. It's already happening. If Pep and or Rodri go as well, that is going to be massive. So I actually think there's a big list of teams that could fall off next season. I think Chelsea's right at the top. Chelsea's right at the top. I think then probably Newcastle, and then one or both of the Manchester clubs could be in big trouble depending on what they do in the window and in terms of their manager. So I think that's going to be really interesting. And I think, as I said, I think next season we might actually see one of the biggest shakeups in the Premier League that we've seen for a very, very long time. Guys, excuse me a moment. My notebook has fallen off the desk underneath the desk. So just bear with me while I get that. You'd know the cats have been in this room. I can just see I was like, I see my pen. Where's my notebook? It's on the floor. Bear with me. Oh, got the notebook. We've got the notebook. Now, I did see Flossie. Flossie says, let me see. There's so many good things coming in. So let me see. Flossie said, I think one of our top players goes, and don't be surprised if Eddie does too. That's unexpected. You think he'll want to leave, Flossie, or do you think he will be encouraged to find the exit? Because I don't really know how your ownership operates. You guys you are quite quiet. Like, you aren't very dramatic. So I don't actually really know how you guys operate in terms of stuff like that. Would it be more likely that he would opt to leave, or that he might be encouraged to go in that direction? By the way, this was a great question. It was a really great question to get us started off. Let me go back up. What I want to do is star it so we can keep coming back to it as we're answering it. So really and truly, great question. There's a reason he's the Tea Titan. There is a reason he's the Tea Titan. So obviously I'm going to be reading your chats out, your answers out, but as people join us, then obviously they'll be able to see the question that we're talking about. Just absolutely played a blinder, didn't he, our huge, the Tea Titan? So I'm actually going to write this down, because this is something we're going to want to come back to. See next season when they're all falling off and we'd be like, we talked about this. When did we talk about this? And nobody's going to scroll through all the videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it down in my special notebook. That's not special. It's beige. It's not even an exciting notebook. It's plain beige. It's Tesco's finest ring-bound notebooks. But let me see. It is the 1st of April still. What an incredibly long day I have had this 1st of April. Okay, so who will underperform next season? And I see lovely people joining the chat. I am going to scroll down and make sure I say hi to everybody. But I do see we have JJ. JJ is in the house with us as well. So welcome to JJ. But so far we have said we believe Chelsea is way at the top. We believe maybe Newcastle, with maybe Eddie Howe, that's a big one, and maybe a player leaving, at least one key player. And then we said City, if Pep and Rodri go. And we said United, depending on transfers and what we do with our manager situation, which at the moment, it's looking like we're going to keep Carrick. And I think that would be detrimental for us and for the club. But let me scroll, because I know there was more things coming in. Yeah, so Rob said Chelsea as well. Rob agrees with me on Chelsea. Yes, we're so slow. Manchester United, we're so slow to do everything. Everything takes longer than it should, but it's just because we're so badly organised. Dave Boy says, if we qualify, and we being United, if we qualify for Champions League, the squad is so thin. The squad is so thin. The squad is barely coping with one match a week. On the odd week where we've had 2 Premier League matches in a week, we've literally looked like we're going to collapse on the pitch. So, the squad is threadbare. We're not coping with one match, let alone 2. I think we're in big trouble when we get into the Champions League, unless we have a massive summer window, which again, I just don't feel any sort of kind of confidence in. I don't know if I said hi to Aaron when I saw him the first time, but if I didn't, here he is. Welcome to Aaron. And he's on his member account now. He's swapped across again. Yes, he's green on this one. I had to check my other screen. You are green on this one, aren't you? Where'd he go? Scroll. Oh my God, yous are chatting so fast I can't keep up with yous. Right, back to the chats. Let me see. Everybody's saying hi. Paige, I would have both of them, but I don't think either of them are going to happen. I just don't see it. And to give JJ his full name, big up everyone, JJ the Bottle Strand TV. Love it. What a good name. Love it. Flossie, on Eddie Howe, you think he will leave of his own accord? That's really interesting. Flossie, I literally want to just pick your brain on that now. I'm like, Flossie's going to get some WhatsApps after this stream to tell me more about this, because that is interesting. I didn't see that. Now, obviously, maybe it won't happen, but it's an interesting theory. Flossie, tell us more. What makes you think that? I'm not doubting you. You've taken me by surprise. So now I want to know the thing. Why? Why do you think that? Does he do that? I don't know. I literally don't know. I'm so clueless. So you tell me anything you know about this scenario, Flossie. Tell us all. Tell the people. Spill the tea, Flossie. Spill the tea. Dave Boy says City. So Dave Boy reckons City will get Anderson and Tonali because he thinks Jim Ratcliffe won't pay fees or wages. I mean, yeah. Paige is saying, Carrick, get us European footy, thank you and bye. That is exactly how I feel about the situation, 100%. Aaron is reminding people to please hit the like button, correct and right, because I always forget, especially when it's a stream with like people I really enjoy their company. I run straight to the chat, and until someone writes in, oh, remember to hit the like button, I'm like, oh yeah. Because I go straight, I'm like, hi, everybody. Hi, friend. Hi, you. Hi, Flossie. Hi, Aaron. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot to hit the like button. So if you're like me, please do go back out and hit the like button, then come back to talk to us. But let me see. Yes, you are green. You are the green Grinch tonight. Huge is saying the issue is if we have a similar window, we might get 4 good players, but injuries will hit us hard and we look unfit already, let alone when we play twice a week. And I have said this, and I know it's maybe not what everybody thinks, but it's what I think, and I really believe this. Since Carrick has come in, we have become more unfit as a team. Our players are less fit. They're less athletic. You can see them getting tired quicker. They're like blowing out their backsides much quicker into the match. They can't play with the same intensity that we were playing with before. The fitness, whatever about the results are definitely better, okay? We're getting more points on the board. But the players are absolutely 100% less fit, and come next season, that is going to matter. We were able to play previously with intensity. Now we can't. That is going to be an issue. Dave is abandoning us. He has put some pints in here, so I think we can only guess where he's leaving us for. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for smashing your like, and good man, Dave. We will chat to Dave, of course, on the next show. Mama Flossie, the CEO has been talking, and it's just a feeling I'm getting. Flossie, I'm going to have to look into this because this is genuinely taking me off guard. And it goes to show you, sometimes there's so much happening that things slip through the net. So we spoke the other day about Emi Martinez and his B play and his, potential FA investigation, which seems to be under the radar. But there's so much happening this season, and I think it's going to continue into next season. Things are slipping through the net. So when we're looking at like De Zerbi, when we're looking at things like Spurs, when we're looking at like what's happening at Chelsea, when we're looking at, there's so many things happening, then sometimes we miss things. And as I said, Newcastle are quite, and this is going to sound weird, but you guys come across as quite a level-headed club. Your fan base, for the most part, comes across as reasonably level-headed. You're not quite as dramatic as a lot of the rest of us. And so I feel like sometimes then things sort of slip under the radar with you guys unless you come and tell us, which Flossie's spilling the tea. Flossie has got the MO of the show. She's spilling all the tea. Welcome to Dr. Tottenham Therapy. Big up. How are you, Lou? I'm assuming that's your name. That is my name. It will be a little bit strange if I use somebody else's name. Imagine, I just plucked a random name out of thin air. It's actually my alias. My real name is Patricia. No, it's not. My name is Lou. But funny story for those who don't know, some people in the chat will know this. Guess will definitely know this. Rob might remember this, but once upon a time, before I was on any YouTube channels, before I ever did any panel shows, because I've done it on a few different channels over the years, but before I did anything or I ever appeared on screen or call-ins or anything like that, my name on YouTube was Patricia, because do you know the movie Split with James McAvoy? Absolutely. He is sensational in that movie. He is absolutely sensational in that movie. Like, unbelievable. Very, very, very impressive. But one of the characters he plays is Patricia. And whenever he does anything wrong, he says, that wasn't me, that was Patricia. And so my name for ages on YouTube was Patricia. And so people used to think my name was Patricia, but it wasn't. It was just a reference to the movie, and I really liked it. It was a long while before my actual name was my name. So yeah, if you ever saw this, it was Patricia. And you know the little nail emoji where the little red nail varnish on it? That was my username. So if you ever fell out with me when that was me, soz, apologies. Not really. I probably meant it. But yeah, so there's the backstory you didn't know you were getting this evening. There's a backstory I didn't know I was going to tell you. But yeah, no, her name is actually Gladys Coffee. I like that name. Gladys Coffee. That's a wonderful name. Paige says, read something about the owners wanting out of Newcastle. Any truth to that, Flossie, or just BS? Flossie is our official Newcastle correspondent on this show. I love it. I love it. Not only is she a mod, not only is she a member, not only is she my pseudo therapist whenever I need anything, she is also the Newcastle correspondent. Can I just say, Flossie's not paid enough for this. We're going to have to start sending her chocolates, because honestly, we couldn't have the channel without her. Let me see. Dr. Tottenham Therapy has his own live stream at 8:30, but he came to say hello to us first, which is very kind of him. And Flossie, responding to Paige, says she hasn't heard anything about the owners wanting out, which means it is possibly BS. So that is that rounded up. I am spilling the tea. You're spilling the tea, all the tea. She gets paid with love and virtual hugs. Yes, not with real money. Love and virtual hugs. What I pay everybody that helps me. Let me see. Dr. Tottenham Therapy is saying it wouldn't have surprised him if the Newcastle owners wanted out, because they can't do anything at the club because of PSR. That might change slightly when it goes to the squad cost ratio. That will also be interesting. That will be very interesting to see how that impacts different clubs with different financial situations. Because for some clubs who have used finances and PSR as an excuse not to spend money, and I'm not talking about Newcastle here, I'm talking about Man United, they're not really going to be able to use that excuse quite as much anymore. So I am going to be keeping my eyes peeled on that, because I think it's going to be interesting to see the impact that change has on all of the teams, because that will change across the board. Now, Flossie's name is Frida Crabtree. Every time I read it, I keep going to other comments and then reading it again, and it's making me laugh so much. And Luke's name is Luke. Luke, you're supposed to lie, fake a name. Just, do you know what's a good name? Inspector Gadget. Inspector Luke. Woohoo. Right, lads, that's it. We've fallen off the wagon. We spoke about football for 24 minutes, which is more than last night's show, and I think probably more than this lunchtime show. So to be honest, this is a 48-hour record. We're absolutely smashing the football talk this evening. And Shem says, my name is Tan Shem. Tan Shem, Inspector Luke. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, do you know what was a great show? Did you ever watch Hong Kong Phooey? Do you know the karate dog? That was good. That was a good show. But yes, guys, that was a fantastic opening topic from Huge, who absolutely nailed it, got us all talking, and now we've uncovered the potential Eddie Howe truth. That would never have come out if it wasn't for Huge. As I said, there is a reason the man is a T Titan. Very impressive. But yes, Huge remembers the karate dog. Yes, #1 super guy, faster than the human eye. Love it, love it. Right, guys, have we got any more football topics we want to talk about? I don't often let you guys be in charge, to be honest. I normally have my topic and I run with it. Dr. Tottenham is saying, Lou, maybe we should do a stream together sometime if you are up for it. At some point in the future, that would be lovely, actually. At the moment, I'm sticking with, I've got myself and I've got Kai from Behind the Dugouts that comes on with me on a Friday when we don't have football. But as the channel grows, I will be hoping and looking to kind of collaborate with more people. So definitely down the line, and I'll know where to find you here in the chat. So, definitely in the future. Shem is saying, loved Hong Kong Phooey. Can never spell it right though. The wacky races. I love the wacky races, right? Guys, some of you will know. Okay, so there's a video on my channel. I was away last weekend, the first weekend of international, just before international break started. The days are all one. The days are all mixed up. But I was at the Belgium Auto Show, which was fantastic, but it all different, really expensive cars. And one of them looked like the car style you would get. Do you know Dastardly and Muttley's car, where I had the really long front, or the same as the pink one? What was she called? What was the pink girl called? Somebody put it in the chat. What was the name of the girl that drove the pink car with the long front on it? It'll come to me in a minute, or one of you will tell me. But some of the cars were that shape, and I was so very excited. And Miss Penelope, thank you, Inspector Luke. Inspector Luke has told me it's Miss Penelope. It was. Penelope, pit stop. Love it. Flossie and Inspector Luke. Sorry, should I say Frida? Frida and Inspector Luke are on the go. I'm not going to remember all these names. I'm just not. But that's what they look like. I was so excited, right? And the people with me, they hadn't watched the wacky races. They were like, what? Like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, look at the cars. They're like the cars out of the wacky races. And they were like, what's the wacky races? And I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, what kind of childhood did you have? Trauma. But it was fantastic. It was really, really exciting. Big up to Man Dabs, who is joining from Mauritius. Big up, big LFC fan. We do have some Liverpool fans that come into our chat. We do. We're a nice mixed bunch in here. Like, we're a nice big mixed bunch in here. Man Dabs. Just so you know, because you're only new, we don't do rage bait in here. We do nice, friendly, fun conversation. Rage bait, not so much. Not on this channel. We're too nice for that, too chilled out. We're very chilled in here. No rage bait. We don't do that. What is the wacky races? How dare they? Paige, I only saw the first part of that comment before I put it up, and I thought you were asking what is the wacky races. I was like, Paige, what are you doing? But no, it's okay. Panic over it. How dare they is right. Rob Always United. I loved Muttley. I also loved Muttley. And when I get annoyed, sometimes I sound like Muttley when I mutter under my breath. Luke is saying, oh dear, Luke is outing himself. There's footage of Luke somewhere on YouTube, but it's not for the faint of heart. Bloody hell, Don Hassam is in the house, my favourite fraud on the whole of YouTube, who says he's a big Liverpool fan and he's letting everybody know to like and subscribe with a massive donation, a super chat. So big up to Don Hassam. Get him some W's in the chat. Let me just take care of this. There we are. That's much better. But big up to Don Hassam. W's in the chat for him. Don't let anybody fool you. He's nice. He might be a fraud. He might be a Liverpool fan, but he's nice. He's a nice guy. He just hides it well. So, and yes, we drink tea and we're not a cult. All of the important things that people need to know. Flossie, I'm like fastest finger first in here. I saw it and I was like, boom, gone. W to Hassam. Big up to Hassam. Hassam, we are having a free show this evening. I am being democratic and I am letting the people make the decisions. So if you're still here, because I know you're probably going to your own show, but if you're still here, get a quick answer in for this one. Huge had a great question earlier. Who will underperform the most next season, like Spurs and Liverpool have this season? What do you reckon, Hassam? So far on the list, we have Chelsea, potentially Newcastle, City if Pep leaves, United if we balls up the summer. That's the list at the moment. So at the moment, the list of people who are going to do worse next season is bigger than the list who are going to do better. But if you're there, give us a spoiler. But I know you're setting up for your stream. Hassam also said, thank you very much. Congratulations on getting monetized. Proud of you and the work you've done. Keep going. It's not a bad question. It's a great question. Yous are not a very good reigning champion. I mean, you're not going to get relegated, but you have been underwhelming this season, Hassam. Come on now. Come on. You want to sack your manager. You've not been very good this season. Like, what are you doing? I mean, you're not getting relegated. But yes. So Hassam agrees with us about Chelsea. Chelsea are they'll probably sign 25 kids again. Will we talk to Sam? I think you guys were talking about it on MHF, maybe on your channel. Can't remember. But yeah, about the comments from Cucurella and Enzo and everybody, it's all falling apart. It is all falling apart. Dr. Tottenham Therapy also says Chelsea for me if they don't sack their manager. I think it might be them even if they do sack their manager, because the problem seems to be the players don't like the fact that they keep sacking managers. Every time they get used to someone, someone's brought in. So actually, the thing they seem to dislike is the disruption. So if they change their manager again, that might actually annoy the players even more, which is interesting because there's a lot of people that think he should be sacked. But the players are saying the problem isn't Rosenio. The players have said the problem was changing manager because they just got used to a specific system. And as they got used to it, it changed. And then it's very difficult to adapt. And then you're starting a project all over again. They want the continuity rather than the change. So if they then sack Liam Rosenio, that might actually annoy the players more, which would be very interesting. Have I ever been to Santa Pod? I don't even know what that is. It sounds like it's like Santa Ponza, like somewhere in Spain. Is it Santa like a Christmas? I don't know where that is or what it is. So I hope it's not rude, Inspector Luke. Hussam is not pleased with Spurs and Liverpool being in the same sentence. Well done, Hugh. Well done. Now, not only is it an excellent question, but it's annoyed Hussam. I mean, what else would you want in life? But he says underwhelming for Liverpool is a great season for Spurs. I mean, it is when you've after winning the Premier League. Guess was fast on the Google. Is it a drag race? Luke says it's a race course in England. They do car shows there. No, hold on, I write that down because my other half would be delighted with that. So let me see. They do car races. Race track. Yeah, like a drag race, like in Grease, the great movie of all time. Excellent. Thank you, Luke. I'm going to look that up afterwards. I'm going to get Googling and then I'm going to tell my other half it was my idea because I'm such a good fiance. Thanks, Inspector Luke. We like to see it. And Aaron is saying Villa. Well, I definitely think Villa. Villa's started the fall off this season. The reason, that's actually why I wouldn't have even thought of Villa. I think they've actually started the drop off. They've started in advance to drop off. And what do we think of Emery? Because there's going to be a lot of kind of managers moving, changing maybe next season. So, for example, if Arteta doesn't win the Premier League, I think he's out. I think he has to go if he doesn't win the Premier League. If he does, they're talking about giving him another 6-year deal. So he's going to be one extreme or the other. But let's say Arteta wins the league and stays, just for talk's sake. But I think Pep goes. You saw when Kate from Kate and Jimbo was on the channel there a few weeks ago, we spoke about this. I did my rabbit hole on Pep. I think Pep goes. A lot of the Liverpool fans want Slot to go. I hope Carrick goes. Emery, will Emery stay? Flossie's saying maybe Eddie Howe goes. And that's just the ones we know off the top of our heads. There could be a massive manager shuffle. We could be looking at a huge amount of managers moving in the summer, which is going to change the trajectory of a lot of the teams. Wills is here. Wills has made it. Santa Pod is next door to my town. Top place to see drag racing. This is excellent. Genuinely, I'm going to just let you guys run the show all the time. I'm finding so many things that I didn't know before. Football, not football. Yes, that is the real Wills. That's 100% the real Wills. Definitely the real Wills is in the house. Everybody's excited to see him. We missed him. Drag racing at Santa Pod. That's brilliant. Thanks, guys. So it's going to be tumultuous. I think this window is going to be massive, and I think the season's going to be massive, and I think it's going to be very, very, very interesting. But guys, what else? Huge has carried the show. Ye are all wonderful, but we're still on Huge's question 37 minutes into the show. He's been absolutely fantastic. Wills is saying hello to everybody, all the love hearts. He feels missed. And that's what everybody wants in life, to know you're missed when you're not there. But guys, what else? Is there any other burning questions, thoughts you've had, but they haven't fitted into any of our shows? Because now is your moment to sparkle. Sparkle. What do we think? Anything else? It can be football, it can be not football. Obviously, preferably football for the minute. But yeah, just throw it out there. We'll talk about it. Let's face it, we're not too fussy what we talk about on this channel. We're not overly fussy what we talk about on this channel. So get your Guess is now panicking. Guess is like, I need to think of a question. The Tea Titan has set the bar for excellent questions, and now somebody has to follow it up. Who is going to follow up the Tea Titan's question? That's the real question. Oh, Aaron with a good one. Aaron is a good one. Okay. Who is winning the Champions League, in my opinion? So everybody get thinking and get your thoughts in on this, because this is a really good question. I like it. Well done. Like, see, I knew you guys could do it. What I'm going to do is pull up the draw so we can all look at it. No, I just want to see I want to see it like in the picture. Oh dear. There we go. Maybe, aha. This is it. I was like, it was giving me a list, and I was like, I don't want a list. I want a picture. So there we are. Now let me share my screen with you guys. Share the screen. Champions League. Share. Okay. Everybody should be able to see that. Let me see. Can I zoom it a bit more? Oh, no, that's bad because then you can't see anything. Okay, so if I make it bigger, oh yeah, that's not so bad. Maybe that's helpful. So, who do we think is going to win the Champions League? Thank you very much, Wells. Thank you very much, my lovely. So, guys, who do we think is winning the Champions League? So let's go through them. Would you go away? See these pop-ups, they do my head in. Right, PSG, Liverpool. Who do we think is winning out of PSG and Liverpool? Because, I mean, PSG looked shaky against Chelsea, to be honest with you. So, I think probably Liverpool could win that. Like, yous are all disagreeing with me. I thought, though, PSG didn't look particularly convincing. It's just that Chelsea were so bad. Liverpool did all right in Europe, but everybody else is saying PSG. So that's me outvoted. So let's write this down on the special notebook that I crawled under the desk to get. So we have PSG going through from that one, okay? And they're going to play Real Madrid or Bayern Munich. I reckon Bayern Munich. I reckon Bayern Munich beat Real Madrid. Real Madrid were not convincing at all. And Bayern have been on a madness. Now, the problem is Bayern were playing a team that they were like really expected to beat. And they did, and they beat them very well. Guess, of course, is saying Real Madrid. But what do we reckon, team? Do we agree? Do we disagree? Who do we think wins out of Real Madrid and Bayern Munich? Are you doing the what's that? Where you do the opposite of a jinx? What's that when you say the opposite of what you think is going to happen? Lads, I can't remember any words this evening. What is the word for that? When you say the opposite of what you think is going to happen, you're trying to... Lads, my English is broken. No, not manifest. Manifest is when you say we're going to win and then you win. You've manifested it. When you say Arsenal won't win, but you think they really will, you're not like an anti-jinx, but that's more the direction. If I said this word, you would all be like, oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Shem. Greece is the word, and now I have that song in my head. I love that song. Greece is the word. I did spot that, Rob. I did spot that, but she said joke, so it's okay. It's okay. Won't tell anyone. Tempting fate. You're getting closer. Okay, we're in the right ballpark. When you're not tempting fate, you're... What is the word? This is so irritating. I'm gonna get off the stream, and I'll be like, that was the word. What is the word in lose head? There's a good game. What is the word in lose head? Good luck with this one. Delusional. Close. I'm going to think of this later. I'm going to put it in the comment section. So come back to the comment section later on. When I think of this word, I'm going to write it in the comments after the stream because it's really irritating my brain right now. It's actually genuinely annoying me. But what do we think? Real Madrid or Bayern Munich? What are our guesses? I would be guessing personally, I think Bayern. Guess thinks Real Madrid. Wills, you're usually good at this game. To be fair, you're probably normally playing with someone who has a normal brain. Mine is not normal. But it's like... when you're trying to, right, hold on, we have to put it into Google because this is actually really genuinely annoying me. When you predict one outcome, but you really hope the other will happen. No, none of those things. Google can't even figure out my brain. Google can't even figure out my brain. Prophecy fallacy. Like, calm down. Not acting that excitable. Cognitive dissonance. No, not as intellectual as that, Ray Ray. That's quite a wordy. It's more like a common phrase when you're trying to like you're basically trying to like reverse jinx it. It's like anti jinx, but there's another word. It's no, not antithesis. Wills, do you know the word I mean? Do you know the word I mean, Wills? Wills, it's on his brain as well. Wills, this word is driving me crazy. I need you to think of it. Not sarcasm, not a good luck charm. Like, if I really want Man United to get Champions League football, and I say, oh, well, Man United won't get Champions League football, I'm trying to like antihistamine. No, not irony. It's like a single word. Reverse psychology. Reverse psychology. It's not. It's like we're so close. We're so close. It's like reverse psychology, right? That's the closest. That is the closest we've gotten. It's like reverse psychology. Like when you say you're trying to reverse psychology the outcome. That's Ray Ray. Just can we all just well done to Ray Ray, because that is genuinely like that's as absolutely close as we're getting. Yes, Wills is in the pain with me, but this is the closest we've gotten. This is very close. Ray Ray would like a prize, but now he's going to go back to lurking. He was drawn into the chat by the guessing game. Doesn't care about the football. Doesn't want to know what we're talking about. But when it came to a guessing game, guess the word and lose head, he's straight in the chat. I love it, Ray Ray. That is exactly the kind of people we love on this channel. Big up to Ray Ray. Love it, love it, love it. Brilliant. Now, back to the task at hand, which is predicting the winner of the Champions League, which is clearly going to be easier than trying to figure out the word inside my brain. So we've already done the hard thing this season. Yes, but that wasn't the word that was in my brain. Antiphrasis, I've never even heard of, but it sounds like a wonderful word. Rob is perplexed. Well, do you know what? I am perpetually perplexed. So don't worry about it, Rob. It's okay. You get through life, no problem. But guys, we're talking about football. We were doing so well. We were doing so well. Who do we think is going to win? Real Madrid or Bayern Munich? Real Madrid or Bayern Munich? Who is going to win? So far, I have said Bayern Munich. Guess has said Real Madrid. But yeah, what do you guys think? Anybody else with a vote for this one? Because Guess has casted her ballot 3 times. Aaron is with me. Aaron also reckons Bayern Munich. Anybody else have a thought? Just a guess. Just a game. Rob says Bayern. Flossie also says Bayern. Guess. I'm sorry. That brings us to Bayern. You're unanimously outvoted. And Will says, like, Will softened it a little bit. I can't see Bayern losing, which is the same thing, but not quite as harsh. And Huge is saying Bayern should, but Real do things that don't make sense sometimes. So there you go, guys. There's a little bit of hope. And Shem says P Spurs G, which technically works out as PSG. I don't like the chat. She doesn't mean it, guys. She just needs more tea. Uh, but guys, okay. So that leaves us with PSG versus Bayern and Barcelona Atletico. What do we reckon? This is just unexpected. We didn't plan for this, by the way. Who gave us the second one? Was it Aaron gave us this one? I think it might have been Aaron gave us this one. But Barcelona, Atletico Madrid. Who do we think is winning? I think Newcastle should have beaten Barcelona until they absolutely fell apart at the end of the second leg. So Shem is going with Kane, which is fair. That's fair. Guess reckons Atletico. I also reckon, do you know what? I'm going to go with Atletico as well, because I think Barcelona have not been convincing. And I think if Newcastle hadn't absolutely lost the run of themselves, I don't know if Barcelona, like if Newcastle had taken control of the first leg and gone into the second leg with a big win difference and then not like fallen apart, I think they could have beat Barcelona. Maybe I'm talking myself right. I will say Atletico with guess. Rob is saying Barca. Rob's been very sensible and he's like, no, just Barcelona. Like, Lou, calm down, Barcelona. Anyone else have any thoughts or feelings on that? Anybody else? Because as it stands, Atletico are going to beat Barcelona. And I'm not sure if me and Guess are qualified to make that kind of decision. Wills also says Barcelona because it's the Champions League and they know how to get the job done. Huge says it's a 50-50 to me, which might mean penalties. It's a 50-50 to everybody at the minute because it's 2-2. Guess it's saying it's Griezmann's last hurrah. So that is a good one as well. At the minute it's 2-2. So unless we get any other votes, Shem is saying Atletico destroyed Barca at home, but went to Barcelona and got destroyed in the Spanish Super Cup. So you say draw. Okay, but then if it goes to penalties, say it goes to penalties, because somebody has to come out as the winner. So either Huge or Shem is going to have to pick a side of the fence. Once they don't pick opposite sides, we'll get one for each now and it'll be 3-3. Who's at home? Barcelona's at home. Oh, but sure, then it'll swap. Yeah, okay, never mind. If nobody else is going to vote, I'm gonna pull rank and put Atletico. 3, 2, 1, Atletico. I've noted your arguments. Atletico. But we had a draw, so I picked. So, Sporting and Arsenal. This is a hard one to call. Sporting and Arsenal. I reckon that's going to be Arsenal, whether we like it or not. Huge said Rafinha is out for a while, then I'll put Atletico. There you go. Huge got on board eventually. We talked him round. But I reckon Arsenal beat Sporting. I don't reckon that Sporting have no chance. I reckon it's possible, but I do reckon Arsenal have to go in as the heavy favourites, surely. Guess is saying I'd love for Sporting to win. It would be so much fun. Wills is praying but afraid of tempting fate and doesn't want to say Arsenal, but he has said it anyway. Oh no, he's happy with Aaron because Aaron said Arsenal. So I think whether we like it or not, we kind of have to go with Arsenal there. Which brings us to PSG against Bayern Munich. And I reckon Bayern beat PSG. Shem, have you had the Kool-Aid? Guys, obviously I was supposed to do a Kool-Aid sticker today for the members. I haven't had a chance to do that with what happened with my cat. I just haven't really done anything else. I got the phone call not long after the end of the last show and I just didn't get around to do anything. I will do a Kool-Aid sticker though, I promise, in the next few days, definitely for sure. But I do reckon Bayern beat PSG. I'm not convinced by PSG at the minute. Rob Always United says Bayern as well. So we've got 2 for Bayern. Unless somebody else wants to come in and fight us, We have 2 for Bayern. Going. Guesses PSG. And obviously Shem will be going for P Spurs G also. But Will says Bayern. No, Shem has gone with Bayern. Oh, for the Kane. Okay. No, he's changed allegiances. He's gone to Kane. And Aaron says Bayern. Okay, so that leaves us with Bayern. Now, this one is interesting. Atletico Arsenal. What do we think of that one? Atletico Arsenal. That one is curious. Atletico Arsenal. Maybe it's me being biased, which is entirely plausible on this occasion. Can Atletico beat Arsenal? Because if City start to make up any ground, and then Arsenal are still in the FA Cup, aren't they, obviously? Maybe I think Atletico, maybe. I might be talking myself into that one though, so I'm completely open to being outvoted on that one. But let me know what you think. Guess is saying Atletico. They're in the final against, and she's put Madrid in brackets because she voted for Madrid. Rob reckons Arsenal, unfortunately, and it's it is. But what do we think if we're guessing? My guess is I'm going to go with Atletico, but it could be either way. Who said Arsenal have no chance? Calm down, Ray. Who has said on this show, channel, chat that Arsenal have no chance? Calm your wee cacks. Nobody said that. Just breathe. Take a moment. Have a cup of chamomile tea. Nobody said yous have no chance. Not on here. Aaron reckons Arsenal. Will says we beat them 4-0. So we better beat them. Ray. Yeah, you go back to lurking, you, Mr. Easily Offended. Nobody said yous have no chance. Calm down. Wrong. I know yous get a lot of stick on some channels. I know there's some rage baity channels out there. We are overall reasonable. We might not want you to win, but we'll admit it's a possibility. And Ray's name is Lurkio. We have Frida, we have Patricia, we have Tan Shem, we have Lurkio. I mean, the names are just rolling in. Let me see. Yes, so it seems to be I'm outvoted. You guys reckon Arsenal, which would mean a Bayern Munich Arsenal final. Guess. The chat is rage baiting me this evening. Yes, Ray, you're not allowed to be upset on the same night as Guess, okay? We have a roster, and we have to, every evening, a new person gets to be annoyed. It's not your turn, okay? It's Guess's turn. And Wills says Bayern. Wills reckons Bayern. Dave Boy, yeah, no, it's all right. Ray was lurking. He's back to lurking. It's fine. Dr. Tottenham Therapy says Bayern Munich to win. Anybody else? I do think Bayern. But what I will say, and I do believe this, I think Bayern, their result is obviously heavily influenced by who they played. So where is Bayern's match? Like 10-2. 10-2 is completely insane. 10-2. But they did play Atalanta. And I don't think Atalanta and Arsenal fall into the same boat. So I think Bayern, but I don't think it's impossible that Arsenal win. So Guess is going Arsenal for the lols. So there you go. Guess is going Arsenal for the lols. Aaron says Bayern. Ray says, no, I'm back. We beat Bayern 3-1. Yeah, we've no chance. Back to lurking. Ray, we keep reeling you in. You're trying to lurk, and then we're asking so many questions. Huge reckons Bayern. And Guess says you will all look so silly when Madrid beats Bayern. She is determined and she is not going to let this one drop. She is 100% not, she's not letting it drop. Wills is saying beat them 3-1, but we'll lose the final if we actually get there. Ray just wants to lurk in peace. He's doing his best. Dave boy. I don't think, where is he gone? Yes, Dave boy, we're not in a position to be taking the mickey out of anyone. We weren't even in the quad, let alone nearly winning it. We weren't in it. We just dropped off. Round 1, we were out. Dave, the rage baiter. Dave's going to be in the bin. Guess the payback will be glorious. Guess is ready for us, guys. I'm telling you now, if Real Madrid win this thing, we're all in trouble because Guess is not going to forget this slight on her love. We are going to be in trouble. There's going to be no more pastries for anybody at the tea party if Real Madrid win this, because Guess is not going to let it drop. But to answer the question that we were asked about 25 minutes ago, we think Bayern is going to win the Champions League. Now, we probably just could have done that really quickly, but I have now written this down in my notebook, along with all of the 6 million other things that I have written down. So let me see. I'm going to write this one in all caps. So when I flick through the pages, desperately searching for this in a few weeks' time, I will be able to find it. We hope. Champions League. That is not how you spell league. There is an A in league. Dearie me, I can't spell. I can't talk. I can't predict the winner of the Champions League. Oh, and I've drawn a nice box around it. That should make it easier. I need to get some highlighters. That's what I need, highlighters, so I can colour things in and not lose them. Dave, put Dave on the naughty step. Oh dear, in the book of shame. No worries, Guess, because you're one of us. Guys, we did so well on this stream. We did so well. I'm so proud of you that we managed to speak about football for almost the entire hour. That was really good. Really well done to the team. Thank you guys for having such really good topics and questions, such really interesting things to talk about. And they were genuinely interesting things. Thank you, Flossie, for the tea on Eddie Howe. I'm now going to look into those comments because I'm nosy like that and I want to know. If you see an Eddie Howe thumbnail in the next few days, you'll know where it all started. Right here on this stream with Mama Flossie giving me the intel. Obviously, a fantastic, massive, big thank you to the very lovely fraud that is the Don Hassam, and to everybody who put their questions in. Lucky is here just in time to say Glazers out. Dave Boy is disappointed with Rob because Rob is meant to be on his side. You've let him down. Rob, you have let him down altogether. What are you doing? Don't worry, Rob. You've made the right decision. Now, what I want to do is see. Let me see. What am I trying to do? Is anybody? Okay. Let me just see. Oh, goodness me. Goodness me, the chat's flying. I looked away for about 2 seconds. The chat is absolutely on fire. Eddie's taken over at Arsenal. See you all later, guys and gals. Please do smash a like if you haven't done so already. Thank you for being here. You're all lovely. I will be back 12 o'clock tomorrow, hopefully on time, barring any other unexpected news. This, I believe, should redirect you to John Hassam. He hasn't bribed me. He's just really helped me a lot. So if you fancy popping over there for another one of his mental watch-alongs, please do so. But enjoy the rest of your evening, whatever it is you decide to do. Have a good one, folks. See you tomorrow at 12.